Sorry about that. Thank you, Krabby. Oh, the pups appreciate it.
We are back on the record then in matter of People versus Robert Mattson. Sir, you are Robert Joseph Mattson, correct?
Sorry, the audio's rough.
I'm an attorney for the all caps name Robert Joseph Mattson.
Oh,
I am living flesh and blood, human. Upper and lowercase, Robert hyphen, Joseph, space, Mattson.
Oh boy, we got it all. We got it all. He's starting with quantum grammar. By the way, this judge, Olsaver, I know I've done a video on him. I haven't, whatever. I was busy, so I just did this. But I know I've seen him. I know I've done a prior video. If I find it, I'll put a link to it in the description below. But he's good. He's a no nonsense guy.
That is my name.
All right.
Vilified Freedom is in the house. Hi, Simon.
On my birth certificate, live birth. That would be me, has understood that the government has taken that name and made an all caps name and tried to be to claim an account over that name, which to do business with.
Watch the judge. He is so good. His facial expressions. He's mostly stoic, but still, just you can read everything. It's fantastic.
All right, sir. Do you understand that you have a right to be represented by an attorney in this matter?
All right.
I do understand that.
You also understand that if you want an attorney and you can't afford one, that you can tell me that, and I would appoint one for you at public expense.
UCC 1-308, all rights reserved. By me answering and speaking to you at this time, doesn't mean that I'm in any way being
Italian beef all day.
Given any kind of
and thank you.
Authority over my body to you at this time.
Okay, I will note, sir, your objection to my jurisdiction over you, and I will preserve that for the record. As
Your Honor,
discussed in your hearing on Monday, it is my position that this court does have jurisdiction over you, and I am going to proceed as such. And
yeah, because he does, and he knows it. Also, not too over the top, but the assistant public offender defender or APA. What is that? Whoever, Phoebe, she has a hard time throughout this video as well.
Again, your objection is preserved for the record, and if you would like to file an appeal, if that becomes necessary at a later date, you'll have the ability to do that.
Actually, I think I can do something a little quicker. I like to exercise my rights of subrogation, have the prosecutor file.
Just because it's an odd word, let me assure you, there are no rights to subrogation involved here. None.
My right to subrogation, or certify my right to subrogation at this time. It's an undeniable right. Subrogation is the removal of a third party. It's in the Black Laws Dictionary, 6th edition.
Okay, this is all nonsense. Subrogation means you're stepping in the shoes of another person. So, for instance, I always see it with an insurance company who pays out on a claim, and then they sue the other driver who's at fault, and they'll step in to the extent of their liquidated damages. I don't want to get into all that stuff. What he's using it for is he's trying to use subrogation and say that there's a straw man. It's complete and total garbage, and it has no meaning whatsoever in this criminal context.
Also, the Bouvier Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, that the removal of third party would be the prosecutor in this case.
Oh, yeah. He said it, Black's Law.
All right. I'll note that request for the record and find that there is no right to subrogation in a criminal matter, and so I'm going to deny that request. Again, your objection will be noted for the record, and if you feel you need to appeal that decision at a later date, you will have the ability to do that. You understand, sir? You understand, sir? That you understand, sir? Sir,
Oh,
please
thank
let
you,
me
Charlie.
speak. Do you understand, as I asked earlier, that if you can't afford an attorney and you want one, that the court would appoint one for you at public expense?
Do not want one. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't even know where this is.
I am-
Lenawi County.
Okay.
Not a U.S. citizen. I am sovereign. Separated myself from the U.S. government back
Yeah,
in 2018.
We've covered that objection, Mr. Mattson, and I've ruled on it. Again, it's preserved for the record, and you can appeal it to the Michigan Court of Appeals if you would like to do that.
Well, that-
Oh Lord, the judge has heard all this before from this defendant specifically, and here he is objecting to the government. Meanwhile, of course, wearing the orange and incarcerated.
It's fraud. American jurisprudence guarantees fraud.
Thank you.
I studied it up and down. I know it all too well. So it will go to the Supreme Courts. I promise you.
Okay.
I studied it. It will go to the Supreme Court. No, it won't. The Supreme Court will deny cert on this. You'll never go anywhere. So you could try to file an appeal. Might be able to get that done with the public defender, but he even refuses that help at this point.
As of right now, for the record, and let the record reflect any objections or denials that you keep denying me, that I'm asking you to file a 1090 an OID 1099 for the prosecutor, because the prosecutor is using my name to do business, and I will prepare the 1096 and the 1099A. So this court proceeding is going to go on and have a jury trial, and it's going to be sovereign people, secure party creditors at my status, and also you're going to be filing that OID 1099 for the prosecutor.
Right, sir, do you understand that you've been charged with possession of a controlled substance in this case, and that the maximum penalty
I don't
for that
understand the
offense?
nature of the claim.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to let me finish when I'm speaking. I've done the same for you, and I'd ask you to do the same for you.
Your Honor. Yes, sir.
You understand that you've been charged in this case with possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic of less than 25 grams, that the maximum penalty for that offense is up to 4 years in prison.
I do not understand the nature and the cause of the crime.
All right, I'm advising you at this point that you have been charged with possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic of less than 25 grams, and that the maximum penalty for that offense is up to 4 years in prison. I'm also advising you that you've been charged with operating on a suspended license. A license has been suspended, revoked, or denied, that there is a second offense notice with that, and therefore the maximum penalty for that offense is up to 1 year in jail and or a $1,000 fine. I'm also advising you that you have been charged in this case with alcohol, open container in a vehicle, and the maximum penalty for that offense is up to 90 days in jail. This also carries a habitual offender second offense notice. Which increases the potential penalty to 1.5 times the maximum sentence on the primary offense. As I've indicated, you do have the opportunity to consult with a lawyer if you wanted one, and if you can't afford one, I would appoint one for you at public expense. Mr. Manson, or sir, I believe you've referenced this already, but do you have any training in the law?
Thank you, David.
Yes, I do.
Don't worry. I'll unbutton it even more
Would you
next
tell
time.
me just a little bit what that training is?
Common law.
Okay, and have you studied that yourself?
Yes, I have, along with a couple other people.
Okay, you understand that the law in this case consists of criminal.
The judge just wants to know if he studied it. He didn't want to know the particulars of the study group. It was you and Kirk Pendergrass and Ryan Alton. You just, okay.
Statutes that you're alleged to violate, the Michigan Court Rules of Criminal Procedure, Michigan Court Rules on Evidence, and any number of decisions from the Michigan Supreme Court and Court of Appeals which interpret those statutes and rules.
I understand that the Michigan Supreme Court offers two different types of courts. Common law court and tribunal military maritime court, which this court is operating under, and they're not operating properly with me at this time.
All right, you understand that the prosecutor
Sorry, go ahead.
you understand that the prosecutor that's going to try this case has been to law school, has had significant education and a number of years of experience and training in the law?
And that's perfectly fine.
All right, do you understand that if you do represent yourself, you're going to be required to follow the Michigan Court Rules and the Rules of Evidence?
I'm going to be operating under common law laws, which that's what I should be under as common law. If this is not a common law court, I don't belong here.
Right, you understand?
The judge just doesn't even know where to go with it, with the ultimately, stupid statement. I'm operating under common law laws, and he's just like, I got nothing. I don't know what to say to that.
Understand that I know you've made that objection and made it several times, but I'm going to conduct a trial on this matter that's going to require you to follow the Michigan Court Rules and the Michigan Rules of Evidence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that those rules are going to determine whether you can do things like ask certain questions of witnesses, admit documents, photographs, or any other evidence that you might have.
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're going to be responsible for the jury selection process, and that's also governed by court rules, which determine when you can appropriately challenge a witness.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me tell you how he doesn't understand that. that little thing you just said is literally 90% of the complication with evidence and all that stuff. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just funny.
Do you understand that in order to become a licensed attorney to practice in Michigan, it typically requires at least 3 years of law school and passing a bar exam to show that you have a sufficient knowledge to work as an attorney?
Not a part of the state of Michigan. I am the Republic of Michigan. Michigan Republic.
I saw that and it made me say, I have to go live with this. It's too good. I am the Republic of Michigan. I had a prior video involving the Republic of Canada. And, I just happened to be from Michigan and I rolled across that. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me with this.
Okay, you understand that in order, if you wanted to have a license to practice law in Michigan, you would need to go to law school and pass the bar exam.
It sure is.
No, incorrect.
Thank you.
Okay, you understand that the attorneys handling your case, the prosecutor is going to have a license to practice law in Michigan that meets the requirements that I've already indicated to you.
Which makes any judge or prosecutor or attorney a part of Great Britain, foreigners. Only operating under the foreign sovereign immunity, which actually I have myself.
Foreign sovereign immunity. I have no idea. I don't know what he's talking about.
And trumps over all years.
All right. I appreciate your objection to this court's jurisdiction, and I've ruled on that. And again, I'm not going to change the ruling. You can appeal that to the Court of Appeals in the Supreme Court if you wish at the appropriate time. Do you understand that at least in my opinion, I think you're going to be at a significant disadvantage in this case if you attempt to represent yourself with having a licensed attorney on the other side?
I already am. I'm dealing with the wolves.
The wolves.
There's no fair trial in this military maritime courts. There's nothing fair about it. I mean, you've already made your determination the other day that I was not guilty. Last time I seen you in court. Let the record reflect that. I mean, you sit there and enter the plea and not guilty.
Sir, as I indicated to you at that hearing, I entered a not guilty plea for you. That is not my determination that you are not guilty of what's been alleged.
It's working from the bench, Your Honor. It's not your job to enter a plea. It's mine or my attorney's, which...
I mean, it couldn't be more the judge's job to enter pleas. That's exactly how it works. This judge he's not confused. He not understands everything that's going on, but he's so flabbergasted in the wrongness. It just stuns him, and it takes him a second to collect, and then he carries on. But he's a good judge.
In this case, it would be mine. So the court has already made a determination that I am not guilty.
All right, sir.
He's whining that the court has prejudged him as not guilty. You can't make it up. You really can't.
Are you sure that you want to represent yourself knowing all of the disadvantages, or at least what I believe to be the disadvantages that you face?
Yes.
And is that decision absolute and unequivocal?
Absolute and unequivocal.
Do you have any hesitation about the fact that you want to
the trial will be my peers will be secure party creditors.
Do you have any hesitation?
The judge's approach every time is he's just stunned. And then he says, "All right, I am not going to address this. It's too crazy." And then he just goes to the next thing he's got to do.
Do you have any hesitation about the fact that you want to represent yourself?
No. No matter what you do to me, I will get out of it, and there will be lawsuits.
All right. At this point, I'm going to determine that Mr. Mattson has made an unequivocal request to represent himself. The right has been asserted knowingly and voluntarily after discussion advising him of the disadvantages of self-representation.
This always surprised me. Judge Gauthier, I did a video on him too up in Sheboygan. He went through the same thing. It seems to me that this is sort of like a FREDA inquiry, but then they let them represent themselves. I'm only learning about this from YouTube because I don't do this. I do civil stuff. So, I'm no expert on the topic. But it seems to me when he just says, "I don't understand the charges against me," and then spews all this nonsense, that the judge would be required to appoint a public defender for him. But I don't know. I'm not criticizing because it is not my area, but it's just interesting.
Mr. Daly.
And at this point, I will I will
Will Mr. Daly be willing to come over and talk to me here after we get done with this video screen
all right.
conference?
Yeah, I will appoint Mr. Daly as a standby counsel. And sir, you're asking.
So that's interesting. He does appoint him as standby counsel. I guess they just know these guys aren't going to just accept counsel service. They're going to have a big problem. So he flunked the FREDA inquiry. He appoints standby counsel. I guess that's the go-to approach here.
Can I speak with them about a couple of things?
I can put you in a breakout session so that you can speak to him over video conference privately.
Let me do that, please.
Okay.
Well, he at least wants to talk to the attorney.
Give me just about 10 seconds here and you'll get moved over to a private session. All right. Mr. Mattson should be back from the breakout session shortly.
Your Honor, I'm going to be going over and talking to Mr. Mattson. I still think after my discussion with him, there may be some ways to work this out.
Okay. He should be back from the breakout session any second here.
They're back on.
All right, we do have Ms. Mattson back from the breakout session with Mr. Daly at this point. Mr. Daly, you had indicated to me off the record that you were going to have an in-person meeting with Mr. Mattson at this point. Is that correct?
I will. I can't get that done till Monday, but I've already indicated to him I'll do it on Monday.
Okay. And sir, is that something that you want to do, is have an in-person meeting with Mr. Daly?
Yeah, I want to see if there's something that we can work out here just to save time and hassle and a lot of...
That shows to me, and I have never seen him before, but this James Daly is a smooth guy. He went in there and sold the fact that this guy's facing a lot of trouble, and convinced him. And that takes talent with a guy that's this far out there.
Grief between all of us.
Okay.
Oscar says hit like and subscribe.
Oh,
Well,
Oscar,
and hit the bell notification.
invading my life.
But really would like to speak to Mr. Daly one last time before.
All right. Okay, so this is an arraignment. I presume, Mr. Mattson, that you'd like to enter a not guilty plea until you've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Daly. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not entering any plea until I speak with Mr. Daly and he speaks with...
I will call it straight. Everything that guy said, that guy in orange, whoever he is, I don't know the defendant's name. I don't need to know the defendant's name. Everything he said made absolutely no sense until that moment. Right there, he said, I don't want to enter a plea until I speak to this attorney. Hallelujah. Something reasonable might occur.
Prosecutor.
Based on that, I'm going to find that Mr. Mattson stood mute to the charge, and I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. And I'll set this then for a pre-trial.
I object to that, Judge. You cannot.
Would you prefer to enter a guilty plea on your behalf? I'm just curious what precisely the objection is here.
Enter. That's working from the bench. You cannot enter a not guilty plea.
He keeps saying this. I object. You're working from the bench. Well, that's what a judge is supposed to do. He acts as if there's something wrong with that. That would be their job description.
On my behalf, either me or my attorney has to do that.
Wrong.
I mean, has the court again made a determination that I'm not guilty?
All right. As I've explained previously, it's not a determination that you're not guilty. It is an entry of a plea based upon your not entering a plea at the arraignment. I will set a pretrial for December 1st at 8 a.m. And that will give time for Mr. Daly to have an in-person meeting with you at the jail.
Can I speak with Mr. Daly here again in private?
I'll just go over to the jail and see him on Monday, Judge.
Daly's been around. He's represented a few defendants. He knows the drill. He's like, whatever. I'll get over there Monday and take care of it.
Okay, he's going to come over to the jail and see you in person on Monday.
It's not going
So you
anywhere.
can tell the officer that's with you that you're done in court for today.
Okay, how about, next time, a bond, PR bond, next time I go to court. All right.
With respect to the bond for right now, I'm going to leave it as it's currently set based on prior failure to appear at.
I can't tell, but I think he's talking about the imaginary bond for the subset straw man and not the actual bond that's holding him in jail. But the judge just addresses it like he's saying the right thing.
I did appear. You wasn't there. I went to the clerk's office. Then I went on the television screen for Anna Marie's court. And it kept clicking me off for about 45 minutes. And after that, I gave up. I did appear. I think that's a due process thing.
That whole bit there, I just saw this one time, but I really liked it. I still don't know to this moment if the judge can't hear him or is just pretending he can't hear him. Either way, it's fantastic.